interesting. And, what do you mean when you say that? And I think I know what you mean, but when you say that the experience of time has been ambiguous as a result of the pandemic, then.
Yeah.
Because that part's interesting.
I think for a lot of people, they thought of this as like, it's a pause in the beginning, especially. So people I'm thinking, who maybe didn't feel like they were at huge risk for infection, and they were kind of relieved or happy to be working from home, and other responsibilities were put on hold. They're like, this is the big pause.
Right.
Like time is pausing and I can catch up on a bunch of shit that I didn't do before.
Yes.
I'm going to write. I'm going to learn this. I'm going to do that. I'm going to have time to go to the gym. I'm going to hang out with these friends.
Yeah.
And then slowly you're like, oh no, wait, actually that person's sick or worried, and now I'm anxious about them. I can't actually hang out with them. Like, that goes against public health guidelines.
Right.
Or I thought I'd have all this free time, but actually I haven't seen another human in days and I can't keep track of time. Or I normally didn't watch as much Netflix as I do now, and now I feel like a shell of a human.
Right?
Right.
Yeah, and I think it messes with our concept of time when so much we rely on a lot of things to be markers of time and progress of time. But if you're working from home and you're not seeing people, what's the difference between a weekday and a weekend? What's the difference between Christmas and Valentine's?
I've had real
What's the
issues
difference
with
between Pride and the end of summer? There's different, like, these things are marked by events.
Right.
And so time starts to become really amorphous, and you start to think about, what am I doing with my life? Or will things ever go back to normal? Or am I worthy? You could really go down a spiral.
Absolutely.
And so I think our concept of time has been challenged a lot. I've also seen a lot of people make big decisions. So for example, I moved from Toronto to Winnipeg.
Right.
By September, I'm moving again to Johannesburg for a little while. Yeah, it's exciting.
Wow.
But to me, this is a condition of the pandemic where something about time has shifted, where I feel an urgency to do things and make things happen and make the most of my time.
Okay.
And I don't know if it's because lots of people are dying or because it's normal to work from home, but something has been shaken up, and I can't quite put my finger on it, and that's why I call it the ambiguity of time. Because if it wasn't for the pandemic, I wouldn't be moving around all over the place. I wouldn't be thinking about career shifts. Something has shifted. And I wonder if that's true for you too. I mean, especially having a kid during the pandemic has to really make you rethink time.
Yeah, I keep wondering, like, would I have handled the pandemic the same way if we didn't have the pregnancy and the baby to deal with? How, because being in our age range and being relatively healthy, active people that don't get sick very often and don't deal with respiratory illnesses very much, I feel like we're not in the highest risk category. We're actually really low risk category. And so I do wonder if I would have handled things differently. But the baby, we made the decision that we were going all in, taking it very seriously, because there's zero information. Well, at this point there might be more, but we've just decided we're going to wait until it's just over with before we fully re-engage. But we've definitely made a decision that it was going to be it was going to be better for us to just take it seriously and
err on the side of
Err on the side
of caution.
Precautions seriously.
Yeah.